we report on the year's largest armoured vehicle show in London. Will Inglis has spent the day there.
This is the biggest show of its kind in the world, dedicated to armoured vehicles and related systems. People have come here from all over the world, either to sell their wares or to meet the movers and shakers that could either help them make their product or put it into service. Everything about armoured vehicles is large, and this show is no exception. That's despite the fact that countries like Britain are cutting back on heavy armour.
I think you'll see around the exhibition quite a divide between those who are focusing on future large-scale warfare and those who are addressing the threats and challenges of the moment. If you like, the difference between the war, Afghanistan, and a war, future conflict. And there are some very innovative solutions to some of the challenges of today's operations, for example, in Afghanistan.
Countering the IED threat is at the heart of the systems designed for the war. This small British company makes innovative safety equipment for the interiors of armoured vehicles. How useful are events like this for you to be able to get this product out there?
Yeah, well, they're good networking opportunities, a chance to see UK and foreign buyers, so essential for our business.
The show is also a chance for the end users of some of these products to meet the companies that make them. It means that industry and military figures can get to know each other, exchange ideas, and hopefully develop the life-saving equipment of the future. There's all sorts of innovative technology here on display at International Armoured Vehicles, including this, the Ocelot. This was developed to solve a very specific mobility problem for the British Army. My colleague Charlotte Cross has been to the factory where they're making them.
In just 6 months' time, the first Foxhound patrol vehicle will roll off the production line here in West Sussex. 200 of them are destined for the front line in Afghanistan, where they'll give British troops the mobility and the protection they need.
The Ocelot is billed as the best protected vehicle for its size and weight on the market today, with the blast survivability close to that of a Mastiff and its size just a little bigger than the Snatch Land Rover it will replace. It's ideally suited for manoeuvring around the narrow back streets of Helmand's towns and villages.
This is one of the key requirements. They said, look, what we want is that protection level we're getting from Mastiff, but we really want that agility to move around the sort of streets of Afghanistan, something that's not going to ruin the local infrastructure. So we've deliberately designed the vehicle to have an extremely tight turning circle. It's quite narrow, something equivalent to Snatch in terms of its narrowness as well, again, so we can get that agility. So I think they'll really like the ride and performance, particularly in the narrow streets.
On display today were two slightly different variants, a flatbed for moving heavy loads and a command vehicle. The Ocelot is modular, so these back pods are interchangeable depending on operational requirement.
I think this is the kind of vehicle that's going to give the troops confidence. When they sit in there, they know that we've mine blasted this thing at the kinds of threat levels that are going to be out there in the theatre at the moment, and with confidence they're going to come back. We can never sort of 100% guarantee, but nevertheless this is going to be a lot more viable kind of vehicle.
The Foxhound is the variant which the MOD have on order. With a top speed of 70 miles per hour, it can do 0 to 50 in just over 19 seconds. Not bad for a vehicle weighing nearly 6 tonnes. It has 4-wheel steering, making it extra agile with a 40-foot turning circle. And it not only has air conditioning, but a kettle built in. So will more be on order anytime soon?
Yes, the department is looking carefully to see where we take the programme. The utility variant may well offer opportunities for us, or the command and control vehicle. We need to just see what the requirement is, how it performs in theatre, and of course we need the money. Mr. Chancellor of the Exchequer.
Troops will start training on the Foxhound on Salisbury Plain by the autumn. Charlotte Cross, Forces News, West Sussex.
Well, of course, this event here at London's Excel is about so much more than just the defence industry. There are also representatives here, not just from the British Armed Forces, but from the armed forces of much of the rest of the world. To find out why, I'm joined by a couple of pretty distinguished guests, Lieutenant Colonel Andy Stevens and Major Peter Norton, GC. Andy, if I could start with you, you're an ATO by trade. Why are you here today?
Right, I'm here because at the moment I'm at the UK's Defence Academy, and there we actually are involved at the early stages of the education part of the ATO course and the ammunition technicians as well. Plus we also lecture to all of the staff courses at the intermediate level for land, maritime and air. So this is a really important conference for us to be at, because here we get to see the latest designs of armour and also the ammunition that's being used in armoured vehicles.
Peter, how useful do you find events like this?
Well, the ability to come to conferences such as this, and we're not limited just to the Armoured Vehicles Conference, we go to the military robotics, UAVs and other conferences that all come into this explosive ordnance engineering and counter-ID sphere of education. As the directing staff for counter-ID technologies at the Academy, clearly it's important that we manage to keep ourselves up to date with what is out there, how the technology works, and what new things might be coming onto the market.
Now, of course, you were wounded in Iraq several years ago and awarded the George Cross for the same incident, but you are still a serving officer.
Very much so, yes. I'm in a post which is the SO2 for Counter-ID Technologies and Explosive Ordnance Engineering, so clearly still intimately involved with the education of ammunition technical officers, but also in the wider staff officer and postgraduate officers as they come through on their courses.
All right, well, it's an absolute pleasure to meet both of you. Thank you very much for talking to us tonight. Of course, there is billions of pounds still in the armoured vehicles market, and the industry experts here today will certainly be hoping that some business can be done.
Will Inglis at the Armoured Vehicles Show.